Yes, they are.
I knew your lasso wouldn't hold you for long.
You were offered amnesty, Deathstroke. You should have taken it.
And missed my chance to battle Superman's rebound girl?
How dare you? I'm an Amazon.
Barely.
An obsolete race with predictable techniques.
I mean, was he lying though? In the DC universe, there's no shortage of baddies, but absolute fatties that turn heads. You got women who could step on you, you say, thank you, and the ones you happily offer your life to on a silver platter. Baddies! Give me the cookie and my life is yours! DC is overflowing with amazing, terrifying, gorgeous women. But with all the iconic queens come a fair share of messes. And at the top of that list, Injustice Wonder Woman. Out of every questionable character interpretation DC has ever cooked up, Injustice Diana might be one of the most damaging to her entire legacy. Like, Diana, aren't you supposed to be the paragon of love and kindness, and you're making moves like this over some dick? Especially one that doesn't want you. You are in Lois Lane, and you could never be Lois Lane. That was wifey for Superman. That was endgame right there. It was also giving me the major ick that Diana was seducing and manipulating a grieving man. A man who lost his wife and unborn child. Diana Prince, you are the princess of Themyscira. Emphasis on the word princess. You can get any man or woman in the DC universe. Girl, dick is in abundance. Out here acting like a $5 floozy. Superman doesn't want your crusty, musty Amazon coochie. He's Lois sexual. It's either her or nobody. Playing both games and reading the comics, Injustice Wonder Woman has got to be the worst and aggravating love interest that has ever appeared. If you somehow miss Injustice entirely, where have you been for the last decade? To give you a quick recap, the whole series takes place in an alternative DC universe where everything goes horribly, catastrophically wrong. It all starts when the Joker pulls off his most unhinged stunt yet. He tricks Superman into killing Lois Lane and nuking Metropolis. Who is giving and trusting the Joker with a nuclear bomb? And this wouldn't be the first time someone gave Joker a nuke. Superman has a justified crash out and murders the Joker. Then, in his grief and rage, he goes full authoritarian and establishes a global dictatorship to ensure nothing like that ever happens again. No crime, no chaos, and no freedom. If you disagree with the regime, Superman's dealing with you personally. Batman, horrified by what his best friend has become, pulls together a scrappy underground resistance composed of heroes and villains alike. His insurgency is basically the only thing standing between the world and Superman's Iron Fist peace. Former allies and suddenly enemies, the Justice League is split down the middle, and the whole planet is caught in the crossfire. By the time the first game kicks off, this civil war has already been raging for about 5 years, setting the stage for the chaos that unfolds in the game and its sequel. Now that you're caught up, let's dive into the mess that is Injustice Wonder Bread. What makes this version of Wonder Woman so trifling is that Diana saw an opportunity to rock her world with a broken, devastated Superman. And I'm just like, Diana, you can't wait till this woman is 6 feet in the dirt before becoming the rebound? Remember, Harley and Joker killed Jimmy Olsen, someone Superman sees as a best friend. He just lost the love of his life, his unborn child, the city of Metropolis, and the death of 11 million people weighing on his shoulders. Instead of being a homegirl and providing her friendship and appropriately soothing his pain, she rode the Man of Steel into clapping the earth. It got so bad to the point where Zeus, the ruler of Olympus and the king of the Greek gods, had to spin the block on Superman and his little regime. The gods were not amused by Superman declaring himself Earth's new ruler, so Zeus sends Batman and an entire army of Amazons to the Hall of Justice with one simple message: step down or die. Superman hesitates, but Diana, nah, she was like, I want a trial by combat. One champion from each side fight to the death. The regime accepts. Diana Diana volunteers, but Superman was like, nah, I got this. I can fight for myself. But Batman, being big brain, chooses Diana as his champion to fight Superman. Diana loses it and attacks Bruce, even though the trial by combat was her fucking idea. And then Zeus pulls up and forces the trial to begin by threatening Diana's mama. Superman and Diana go at it viciously. He begs her to yield. She refuses. She breaks his leg, gouges at his eyes, and snaps his elbow. Superman gets back up, fights harder, but Diana easily has the upper hand and is about to kill him before Sinestro swoops in and stops Diana and teases Clark for losing to a woman. Clark pimp slaps him for that insult. Then the Olympian gods arrive in full force, demanding Superman surrender or die. Diana tells Clark, don't give in! The gods order Superman to abandon his false throne and leave the Hall of Justice. A massive fight erupts. Hercules ends up fighting Hal Jordan and is seconds away from killing him when Diana and Superman tag team him. Hercules launches Clark into space and begins choking out Diana until Shazam barrels in and beats Hercules down. Superman plummets out of the sky and kills Hercules with a single hit. The gods retaliate and fire a plague arrow straight into Superman. Shazam, furious, tears through the gods one by one until a blast of lightning forces him back into Billy. Zeus arrives and reveals that Billy has been stripped of his powers entirely. He threatens to kill everyone, starting with the child, unless Superman surrenders. Superman orders the regime to stand down. For now. Later, we see him make a deal with Ares, the god of war. I don't know, Superman. The last guy that made a deal with Ares didn't end well for anybody. Also, what in the hell is the power scaling in Injustice? Who the fuck wrote this? Anyway, back to the Joker. Now, there are over 1 billion people who live on Earth, and if anyone deserved to get clapped out of existence, it's the Joker. This genocidal maniac somehow got his hands on a nuke and thought it was a brilliant idea to mess with the last son of Krypton. His death was 100% deserved, and Superman killing him was completely justified. I don't condone the mess he was doing after the Joker's death. He didn't need to cook Billy's head in like that. And I apologize in advance to the diehard Batman fans, but everything that happened to Superman is his fault. The Joker is the cancer, yes, but Batman is the doctor who caught it and had the potential to treat it early on, but stood by and did nothing, and is the reason it spread and festered for so long. I don't know why Batman is acting stunned that Big Blue just killed Joker. I'm 1000% sure that if Joker did this to any other hero, their response would have been the exact same. You really expect someone to keep a calm, level head and be peaceful after losing everything?
Yes.
Even Damien, the demon brat from hell, clocked his father for his nonsense.
Coward. We are at war with these animals. You think you're better than him? You let the Joker keep on killing. You couldn't save Lois or Jason or anyone.
Low-key, Batman really should have ended the Joker after Jason's death, but here's the reason why he didn't. The Joker actually became Iran's international ambassador, which granted him full diplomatic immunity, meaning he was legally untouchable. Well, that version of him in the comics, I don't know about in the Injustice universe, so meh. And just like with Wonder Bread, she made Superman feel like a god among men, whispering sweet nothings and feeding his worst impulses. Diana weaponizes Superman's grief, twisting his pain into justification for global domination. Like, yes, I know Superman made horrific choices on his own, but he's also got a very persuasive snake coiling around his thoughts. Wonder Bread becomes his right hand in the One Earth regime, and let's be real, basically his rebound, side chick, appetizer, and the warm bed waiting for him at night. Even before the regime was formed, she was already showing excitement over Superman's growing shift toward a more militant worldview. She deliberately preyed on Superman's fears, tugging at every loose thread in his psyche to push his darkest desires even further. When he killed Lex, all it took was a couple of people calling him out on his clownery. Next thing you know, he's ready to put belt to ass on all of Gotham instead of, I don't know, taking accountability for himself and accepting that his actions have consequences. He really expected the Homelander treatment. But guess who was waiting right beside him, nurturing that fear?
So I have a problem with you. Trust you will be dealt with. Period.
She's basically encouraging and hyping Superman to murder millions of innocent people who have nothing to do with his problems. I like to think Wonder Woman and Lois were friends, but damn, not you being a side chick to the dead chick.
Cal, I know you didn't lose your super hearing. Are you okay with this? With us?
Nope.
Of course.
I'm not trying to replace her.
The fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop fucking lying.
I honestly believe Diana is secretly a succubus. The Homewrecker validated every brutal choice he made, that it was fine Joker died. Actually, I validate him killing Joker because he was doing too much. Stealing a nuke, kidnapping Lois, making this man soup, believing he's fighting Doomsday, only to realize too late he was beating the brakes off his wife? Does that make him a wife beater even though it was unintentional? So yeah, if we're talking about deaths in the Injustice universe, Joker getting packed up, I'm not losing sleep over it. I know Batman is though. Wonder Bread goes on to tell him that, oh, it's fine to massacre an entire prison, fine to kill every villain preemptively for the greater good, but nah. The way Superman pulled up to the prison was crazy. It's not like they're going anywhere. Wait, what prison is this? I was getting severe flashbacks to the time the Powerpuff Girls continuously jumped Mojo even though he was locked behind bars. Even if Superman got his way, a world without villains, crime snuffed out before it ever happens, where does the line actually end? How far is too far? For Wonder Bread, she crossed that bloodstained line a hot minute ago and has no regrets. Superman was drowning, and instead of helping him reach the surface, she pushed him further into never-ending darkness. This is why I love and adore Batman and Superman's relationship, because Bruce saw this man was going through so much. He was going through grief, he needed help. Basically telling him, hey, no matter how much you fall, I will be there to help and catch you. But guess who's in the way?
We can beat them, Cal. Brainiac, Batman, they both go down today.
Look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head.
Lois! 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 Lois!
My two personal favorite parts in Injustice are when both Harley and Scarecrow clocked Wonder Woman, and what makes this even more hilarious is that they're both Batman villains. The Scarecrow scene in Injustice 2 perfectly captures what she has turned into. She doesn't fear losing Clark romantically, she fears him snapping out of his grief-fueled haze and realizing she encouraged his worst decisions. She sees herself corrupting Superman. That's another one of her deepest fears, the realization that she's the one that pushed him past the point of no return. Because fears don't lie, they always be telling the truth. And the toxins simply forced the truth she's been burying, that she helped shove Superman so far across the moral line that there's no walking him back. It's utterly strange that in that moment, Scarecrow, a madman who employs fear toxins for a sadistic delight in subjecting others to his experiments on the manipulation of fear, was perceived as the good guy instead of Wonder Woman. And then there's the lasso of truth, which she's wrapped in it with Batman standing right in front of her.
I need you to tell me the truth.
You can't turn your back on him. He needs you.
That's why I came.
Diana knows deep down inside she is not what Superman needs. What he needs is a friend that will walk him back. Just a quick reminder, the Injustice movie version of Wonder Bread was far less villainous. Movie Diana wasn't as much of a manipulative instigator, but in the games and comics? Girl, she was a whole different breed. Joker lit the fuse, sure, but she kept the fire burning and made sure Superman stayed in the ashes. And now, the best part of Injustice 2, Harley Quinn, my baby, is giving Wonder Bread the tongue lashing of a lifetime.
She's had enough, Wonder Bread.
This isn't your business, clown.
You heard bats. No killing.
You lecture me. How much blood is on your ledger, Quinn?
Oh, bucket's full, honey. I was trying too hard to impress the wrong guy. Kinda like you with Superman.
She ate and left no crumbs. No lies were told. Keep in mind, Harley's a licensed therapist. When she calls out this kind of BS, it's backed up by a PhD. This version of Harley Quinn is so beautiful to me. She owns up to the crimes she committed instead of pretending they don't exist, and then she hits Diana with the real truth. Their motivations weren't so different. They were both doing this for some dick, for a man. Harley followed the Joker around out of twisted devotion and a desperate need for approval. Wonder Bread in this universe has been doing the exact same thing, just swap Joker for Superman. Harley calling that out is enough to shatter Diana's delusion for a half a second, and she absolutely snaps. In utter rage, Wonder Woman tries to kill her, proving just how far gone she really is. By this point, Diana isn't the paragon of truth or compassion anymore. She's someone who can't bear to look in the mirror without lashing out at whoever's holding it up. There's a delicious irony in a reformed Harley Quinn giving a lecture to a corrupted Wonder Woman. Sometimes the only way a hero learns just how far off the rails they've gone is from a villain pointing it out. Harley's IQ really shines here. That PhD in psychology ain't just for shits and giggles, you know. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's probably fully aware she's tempting Wonder Woman to strike. She becomes both strategist and a martyr, taking a literal sword to the gut just to prove a point to Supergirl. Harley starts a chain of events that leads to tipping the scales in their favor by opening Supergirl's eyes. I know for a fact Wonder Bread was sick that she got called out by two villains. Mind you, Scarecrow and Harley are certified doctors with PhDs. They know what they're talking about. Wonder Bread brought shame to herself, shame to the gods, shame to her mama, shame to her sisters, shame on what it means to be an Amazon. Just shame all around.
Dishonor! Dishonor on your whole family! Make a note of this. Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your cow!
Even Wonder Woman from the main timeline had to catch hands with herself for not only disgracing the Wonder Woman name, but also doing all this buffoonish clownery over a man that didn't even want her like that. What makes me even more furious at the end of the day, Wonder Woman ain't doing this to avenge Lois, the unborn baby, or the 11 million people that died in Metropolis. She is nothing more than a vindictive, wicked, down bad bruja. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!